So we got to the house, and mind you, this is the first time I'm seeing the house. I took my compass with me to double check on the compass reading. And then, so that was all good. My real estate agent knows I do feng shui. So when she saw me do the compass reading, she was like, okay, everything's good. We're okay to put in the offer. I said, yes. So I had an hour, maybe 45 minutes to, walk through the house. And then I happened to see the owner passing by. We're not supposed to cross paths at that point, supposedly. So when it came time to present the offer, I was ushered into my real estate agent's car, and they stayed in the house to, give our offer to the owner and her agent. And because I knew how the owner looks like, I was in the car the whole time. I was clearing the energy. I was building. Again, this is inner feng shui stuff. I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of it because we do that in manifesting code. But the basis of it is me basically visualizing her. The whole time I was in the car, I had my back towards certain directions. I closed my eyes and I visualized the owner in front of me, and I sent love and I cleared the energy and I built our connection energetically. And I'm not going to go too much because I know the video is already really long, but our offer got accepted. So basically, from my husband and sister-in-law seeing the house, from that point until our offer was accepted was a whole 26 hours. So it was very quick in terms of how things moved. So that was a month ago. That was end of October. And we're getting the keys tomorrow. And so it has been a very, very intense few weeks because this being our first house, it's a lot of stuff to learn about your house and learn about how to be a good homeowner and the responsibilities that you have as a homeowner. But at the same time, for me, is also to boost it up feng shui wise. Now, going back to the fact that the house is at a cul-de-sac. We are the third last house from the cul-de-sac. And those who are in Feng Shui 2020, I know in our private Facebook group, we have quite a few actually of you guys in cul-de-sacs, and I know you're panicking over it. And my suggestion is inner feng shui. You need to go above and beyond feng shui at this point because you cannot fix the cul-de-sac. I cannot fix the cul-de-sac. So why would I buy a house that's third house from the end of the cul-de-sac? I'll tell you why. And I'll say this knowing full well that there are some feng shui practitioners out there who are going to think that I'm crazy for doing this. But I'll tell you why. Remember heaven luck, earth luck, mankind luck. You know, on all my videos, I talk about heaven luck, earth luck, mankind luck. We can never get away from that. Heaven luck is our astrology, our spiritual path, our karma, our past life, and how that impacts us. Earth luck is the feng shui, our home, how the rooms are, the external structures, the internal structures, and how that impacts us. There's also a mankind luck in terms of our actions, our decisions, our self-sabotage, our discipline, our lack of self-control. That's our mankind luck. Now, in my 10 years as a feng shui consultant, I have seen a small group of people who have done really well despite bad feng shui. And I'll share one such one with you. It was a wellness center. So they have naturopathic services, massage therapy, I believe spiritual counseling. It's a wellness center. So the owner was undergoing renovation and she had me come in. And the center energy of that wellness center was really bad for money. And I was a little bit concerned. However, she said, she told me that all her practitioners in that wellness center, they're booked like 3 months ahead. So everyone's really busy. She wants to do the renovation not to boost the business, but to make sure that the renovation doesn't drag down the business, which she's a smart lady. But after my discussion with her, I was like, okay, tell me what you do every day. So gist of the story is she comes in every morning before she turns on the open sign, before she starts her business day, she asks universal energy, angelic energy to shore up, to protect her business. That was my first clue. This was maybe 6-7 years ago when I did this consult. Part of my journey into above and beyond feng shui. Okay, so that was one. And then the last place that we stayed at, we went into it. That was my first experiment. Okay, we went into it knowing full well that the energy at the apartment door is also not good for money. So I know it was a little bit risky, but we moved in with me knowing full well that flying star energy wise, it wasn't great. But there were other things, like for instance, our master bedroom was good, our kitchen was good. That 2 out of 3 is good, but still main door is still quite important out of the 3. And so we were there for many, many years, in fact, in that building, 7 years. And that was the time when I really implemented daily inner feng shui tools. My meditation, my cleansing the space, working with crystals, working with essential oils, working with my Akashic guide for my home, working with all those higher level, higher vibration energies to make sure that they boost up whatever feng shui placements that I have, and to also make sure that mine and my husband's actions are also getting supported in good ways. And in that unit, honestly, someone who does not do feng shui and does not do inner feng shui, in that apartment, they would have really bad money luck, really bad financial challenges. However, my business doubled, actually almost tripled while we lived there. And so now that was me taking a cue from my wellness center client, realizing that bad feng shui is not the end all be all. However, that's internal bad feng shui, right? Now I'm experimenting basically with the whole family that we're going into a house where instead of dealing with just internal issues, now we're dealing with external issues. But I'm feeling really good about it because in the past 3 years, what I'm starting to call my spiritual chi, my spiritual energy has been really strong. My intuition has been, I've been sharpening my intuition in terms of my, the way I can tap into messages, the way I also start to trust messages, because some of us were naturally intuitive. Not me, actually, I had to practice it. But some people are naturally intuitive, but they don't necessarily trust it, right? So I went into my Akashic guides, into my intuition, into work, getting messages that this is a good house for us, and the cul-de-sac is something that I can protect my family from. Someone who does not do daily energetic work like I do will have issues from the cul-de-sac. And we have seen many people, a lot of people, after I mentioned about the cul-de-sac, many of you come to me saying that, that you've known people who live in a cul-de-sac and they're having issues. And so what I'm going to be doing with this house, obviously feng shui the heck out of it as much as I could, But there's no remedy for the cul-de-sac. No feng shui remedy for the cul-de-sac. That will be up to me and my spiritual energy and my daily energy work. What kind of energy work? Anything and everything that I know, to basically have a bubble around our house that not just the cul-de-sac is not just to protect us from the cul-de-sac, but also to protect us from other harmful energies as well. I've always been doing that. This time, I'm just going to add on the cul-de-sac as another potential thing to be watchful for, right? So, like I said, in our private Facebook group for Feng Shui 2020, many of you are in cul-de-sacs, and many of you are really worried about it. And especially after me saying that there's no Feng Shui remedy for it. It is now up to you, especially if moving out is not an option. It is now up to you to go above and beyond Feng Shui. It's not an option at that point. If you have any external structural issues, other energy work must be done together with the maximum Feng Shui that you can do in your home. That is how you make sure that you don't get affected 100% from that structural issue. So I know this has been long-winded. Honestly, I was hoping I could do 15 minutes, but knowing what was I thinking, I know I'm a talker. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. I haven't seen any new questions here. Oh, Flora is asking, what do you think about this book called The Book of Spirits? I have not heard of that book. To be honest, I have not read many new books lately, but I have not heard of that. But I'm definitely open to, different forms of energy because, again, Feng Shui is just 1/3 of it. You guys remember that. Feng Shui is 1/3 of that. I have another client who just moved into a house, a much better Feng Shui house. I'm so happy for him because we worked on the Feng Shui. We looked at the Feng Shui before he bought the house. So I know he's going into a much more prosperous and supportive Feng Shui. But I had to remind him, remember, in terms of your past life lessons, in terms of whatever karmic debt you may have, you still need to work with this one issue because that's outside the realm of Feng Shui. So he needs to, it's a little bit of a tough love for me because I said, because Feng Shui cannot fix that for him, it's outside of the Feng Shui realm, he needs to do his energy work each and every day. You cannot do your meditation and visualization when you need to, when you feel like it. You have to do it every day. And I tell my Manifesting Code members all the time, even if you can't do all the tools every day, pick one tool to do every day. It could be the clearing, it could be the journaling, it could be the meditation, it could be our money assignment. So those are the things that you need to do to meet the Feng Shui halfway. Okay? So I'm going to end that here. Sorry for a long-winded one. But tomorrow, if you want to keep an eye on Facebook or my YouTube community post, excuse me, I will be documenting this. I don't know how much, but I'll be getting the keys. I may or may not be going to the house tomorrow, but I know I will be going to the house on Thursday because I'm meeting with the contractors. I might do a video walkthrough. Announcement! I almost forgot about that. So announcement for this house is we're doing minor work for the main floor, but we're doing most of our renovation in the basement to get ready for a rental apartment. And I'm going to video blog and show you guys what a Feng Shui renovation looks like. Because I get a lot of people calling me to do a consultation for their reno. But that's the thing, a lot of people only know fast food Feng Shui, right? When they call me to do reno work and I quote them my pricing, they balk because they think feng shui is all about making it look zen, making it look good. It's all about placing, you know, like fluffy, nice looking stuff. No. Incorporating feng shui into the renovation means looking at date selection, looking at the compass direction that the stove is going to be facing, that the door is going to be facing, looking at what are the permanent energies in all these rooms and picking out the tiles, the colors, the whatever that will work best for that room. And obviously with us, renting this out, I also want this to make this the most auspicious for whoever rents out the place. So the stove, specifically the stove, which is really, really good for opportunities, is going to be good for anyone who lives there. Versus the stove upstairs, for us, it would be good specifically for me and my husband. Because obviously we're going to live there. It's our first home, but I think I'm going to make it our forever home because I do not like the house buying process at all. I'm not leaving. But yeah, so there's ways of making a stove, for instance, auspicious for everyone in general, which is, specific 5 degrees in the compass. That's good for everyone. But there's also, based on astrology, specific 5 degrees in the compass that could work for me or my husband, but hopefully the both of us. So those are the myths that I want to start breaking in terms of what is really involved when you do a feng shui renovation. So for the next few months, you guys are going to see clips of me doing as the reno starts, as the reno progresses, and I think that will be fun. Thanks for watching, everyone. I know this was really last minute. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Keep your eye out on my Facebook page or the YouTube channel. Take care.